Hello, I am Dr. Lalita Bhagat. Today we will discuss syllabus of program planning subject. This subject is offered in our home science for TY Human Ecology and Consumer Services students. It is the 4 credit subject, that means assessment will be done for 100 marks. Then we will start discussing our syllabus. In our first module, we have concept of program planning, then meaning, philosophy, and need of program planning in extension, principles of program planning, methods and approaches to program planning for extension work. In module 2, we will learn management of the program, definition and concept of management and management process. Then we will see significance of management for extension program, need of management in program planning and implementation. Then in module 3, we will see program planning, meaning, importance and components of plan of work, prerequisite for developing a plan. Then we will see developing the plan of work, calendar of operations, mobilizing the resources. Then we will see planning for monitoring and evaluation. In module 4, we will see program implementation and management, follow through plan of work and calendar of operations, administration, management, monitoring, extension provisions. Then we will see program evaluation, meaning, types, phases and tools. Follow reconsideration and revision of program, importance of people's participation in program planning and in our extension program. I am giving some samples of previous papers so you will understand. We are not going to discuss the question papers. It is just the understanding that the relevance of the syllabus with the question paper, and you will come to know that each and every point of our syllabus is asked in our question paper. So the questions are: explain the term management and management process, define program planning and enlist the principles and explain in detail. Explain the term evaluation, monitoring. Explain the term importance of plan of work. State the need and significance of management in extension program. State how to mobilize the resources. Write the steps in program planning. Write about the people's participation. Then write about administration, reconsideration, approaches of program planning, calendar of activities, then define controlling, management, program planning, administration, evaluation, planning, implementation. One more sample paper is there. Write the principles of program planning, then program planning, concept, meaning, philosophy, concept and process of management, significance and need of management, elaborate on methods and approaches to program planning for extension work, discuss importance and components of plan of work, explain developing the plan of work and calendar of operations, write on mobilizing the resources, write a short note of planning for monitoring and evaluation. One more sample paper is there. Explain the term program planning, state its principles, Explain any two of them. The term evaluation and its types. Write the approaches to program planning for extension program. State significance of management of extension program. State the management process. Write about plan of work. Explain the importance of administration of monitoring. State the importance of people's participation in extension program. Write short note on reconsideration, mobilizing resources, calendar of operation, need of program planning, definition of planning, management, administration, evaluation, monitoring, implementation. Now, before starting the subject, we will discuss program planning. That means, according to you, what is program planning? What is program? You can comment in the comment section. According to you, what is the program? Yes, very good. So, by referring our previous discussion, program may be some event at your household or at your college level. Yes, there are many programs which are run by our Indian government. During our many activities, college activities or NSS activities, we have taken part in such programs like Swachh Bharat, Swasth Bharat, Sabal Bharat, Unnat Bharat. Now we are moving towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. So many programs are there, so many policies are there, and with the help of different programs, government is implementing all these policies. Same way, we are here as an extension worker to plan some programs and we have to implement programs. So we know why all these activities are important for us. We must have learn about the Maslow's need of hierarchy. So at basic level, we know that basic needs are important, mainly food, shelter, then clothes, and now we have added that education, health, then need of security, then need of self-esteem. So when we are doing something for our nation, for our society, all these feelings are helpful to esteem or boost our self-esteem. So whatever we are doing for our nation, for our society, ultimately all these things are helpful to grow ourselves, to develop ourselves. And with the help of such subject, it will be helpful for you to understand what is program planning, and also it is a great opportunity for you to develop yourself and boost your self-esteem. So take it as an assignment and you can mail it according to you what are different programs, and you can elaborate during our NSS activities in which programs you have participated. Yes, very good, fantastic. So we will move the meaning of extension program planning. So program planning is a procedure of working with the people where an effort to recognize unsatisfactory problems or situations are identified and possible solutions, objectives, and goals are determined. So there is a conscious, continuous effort to meet the needs, interests, and program planning is the concept where we will understand people's problems, their needs, their situations. Then we will formulate some programs, formulate some objective goals to fulfill those needs, and we can enlist some needs. That means we can discuss some needs. So if we want to understand people's need, According to you, what methods we should apply? You can comment in the comment box. As our previous discussion, you know that to analyze the needs, to understand the needs, to understand the condition of people, we can conduct some kind of survey. Already for our NSS, you must have conducted many surveys and we have collected data. So our main focus was to understand the condition of the environment where the people are living, their food habits, then their employment condition, whether they want some employment, self-employment opportunities, many things we have assessed. So with the help of survey method, we can understand people's needs, people's problems. Also, we can conduct interviews. Again, after collecting the survey, we can analyze the whatever we have collected. That means we can analyze that data, we can analyze the facts, and then we will refer some document. That means many secondary data is there, books are there. Then we can ask the expertise, what solution should be there. We can ask the people. That means while conducting the survey, we can ask the people possible solutions. So with the help of analyzing the data, understanding the condition, we can formulate some goals, objectives for the for the problems or for the people's needs, and then we will plan some program. In our extension program, in our FY, we have learned the subject extension education. So you have better understanding what is extension program. So according to Casely and Harney, and so an extension program is a statement of situation. It is a statement of objective, problems and solutions. So extension program is a statement. The statement about the problem, about the possible solutions. Then according to Lawrence, an extension program is the sum total of all the activities and understanding of a country extension services. So it includes the program planning process, written program statements, plan of work, program execution. Now, fifth is results and sixth is evaluation. So we will start our procedure from understanding people's condition, understanding their needs, their problems. Then we will formulate some program, we will implement it, we will assess the results, we will evaluate all the process. So as a homework, you can write down your participation in different programs, your participation in different surveys. You can comment in the comment box also. We have discussed many social problems, many needs. So for that we can group wise also we can discuss the problems of particular beneficiary group. That means if we want to consider students' needs, so we have to understand which kind of pressure students are facing. Then we have to understand the environment in which they are learning, their family background. So these are the conditions, situation we have to understand if we want to study their needs. Then we can understand, we have to study the present scenario also and which challenges students are facing. And according to that, we have to formulate programs for students. As an extension worker, we are good facilitator, good mobilizer, or we can say we are good trainers, we can say we are good teachers. So we are here to mentor our beneficiaries, and for that we have to understand in which condition, in which situations our beneficiaries are living. We have many national problems, and we have to develop our youth for our nation building. So we have to develop this human resource for our nation building. We have to we have to participate in our Atmanirbhar Bharat program. So we have to understand what are the different problems our nation is facing. You can comment in the comment box also, according to you, what are the important problems should be uh, take care, or it should be eradicate. What are the needs which should be fulfilled? So mainly you must have, if we have refer some books, we have refer some data, secondary resources, we will understand that population explosion is the big problem which India is facing now. Again, we can see a different kind of vicious circle. That means poverty leads to less education. Less education will leads to less employment, or less employment opportunities. Again, it will lead to the um, low income generation, and again it will lead to ill health, and ultimately it will lead to the poverty. That means this vicious circle starts from poverty and it ends to the poverty. So these are the big social problems. That means we have to see the needs and problem challenges regarding the poverty, then less education, we have to see the ill health, we have to see the low standard of living. So if assessing all these problems, assessing all these needs, we will formulate our goals to eradicate the poverty. We have to see that quality education must be reached to the children. Again, we have to see good health situations or conditions should be there. So ultimately we will see standard of living, quality of life in our Indian citizens. Yes, we are seeing in our surrounding the campaigns like All Lives Matter. In our Indian situation also, we know our Constitution of India. So our basic guidelines are there. We have directive principles. We have fundamental rights. Also, we have responsibilities. So, we should understand that each and every person is equal in front of law. Yes, all lives matters. You can comment in the comment section your views, what you are thinking in our Indian situation, what is all lives matters. So in India, each and every person is equal in front of law, and whether that person is from any caste, religion, creed, then race, color, gender, each and every person is equal in front of law. So we should have to follow these constitutional values while implementing any program, and we have to understand each and every problem, each and every need of the people in the context, to see that yes, each and every person is equal. We should have give proper respect, proper dignity to each and every individual, and then we will understand proper basic background of this subject. So before we plan or draw up a program, we should ask some questions, all that WH type questions: what, for whom, how. That means what needs do people have? Yes, already we have discussed that with the help of proper survey method, with the help of proper scheduled interview, and we can refer the secondary data, we can understand the people's needs. Next is how can needs be identified. Then what plans or priority should be set up for meeting people's needs. That means there are many needs, there are many challenges. So among those, what we should choose. So we have to prioritize the needs. What resources are necessary to meet the people's needs? We know scarcity of resources. So we have to focus that in minimum resources, how qualitatively we can implement our program, and qualitatively we will be successful to achieve our objectives. Then how should resources be organized, be mobilized, and directed to help people to meet their needs? We also must have understanding that yes, people are the most important resource. So we have to mobilize that resource. So while identifying their problems, their needs, again we have to see that yes, people is the most important resource. We should have proper faith in our Indian citizens. Yes, our Indian citizens are very hardworking, they are very sincere, and we should have faith in our human resource. So we have to mobilize this resource very powerfully. So while understanding the needs, we have to participate people, and also while implementing our program, we have to uh, mobilize the resource. Therefore, in program planning, we should know where we are. So we have to understand at where we are now and where we ought to go. That means what objectives we want to achieve. So we may better judge what to do and how to do with this subject, program planning. It gives meaning and system to action, and it prepares for meaningful future action. Yes, already I have told you that as a homework you write down different needs, their problems, and with the help of this subject we will formulate the objectives, we will able to formulate proper program. Yes, we are ready to do something, but we should know what we want to do, how we want to implement all those programs, because we have very less resources. And with the help of those limited resources, we have to achieve high quality success or high quality objectives. Then we will discuss the philosophy of our program planning. So, philosophy is a study of general and fundamental problems such as those connected with reality, existence, knowledge, values, reasons, mind, language. Philosophy of extension education. It includes the principles or guidelines with which to shape or mold the developmental programs related to the field. It provides to the extension worker the basis for working out programs and policies to be adopted in extension work. So, philosophy is giving us proper background, proper guideline, what and how we have to do our work. So first is extension has philosophy of culture. As we have discussed, constitution is our basic guideline. So we should have constitutional values. We should have cultural values. We are here to respect our cultural backgrounds. We are here to preserve our culture, and also whatever is good, we have to continue it. We are not saying that everything is good. We have to assess and we have to understand, and then we have to preserve it. So we have to respect culture of people. We have to respect people. Each and as we have discussed, each and every people is equal in front of law. Our philosophy is giving us guidelines that yes, we have to respect people. We have to respect their culture. In culture, we know we have to respect their food habits. We are not here to impose, yes, you have to eat such kind of food. You are not allowed to eat such kind of food. No, we are not here for that. We have to respect people's culture. It brings about cultural change through cultural development. Yes, definitely. With the help of proper social development process, we can bring some cultural change through cultural development. Extension has philosophy of social progress. So it works on the desire and needs of the people. That means each and every activity is need based. We will work for people's needs. It facilitates change and help people against them. So, first thing, acceptance is very important. So, extension has philosophy of teaching. So, as an extension worker, we are teacher, we are mobilizer, we are resource mobilizer, we are mentors, we are facilitators. And our main focus will be uh, teaching by doing. That means if we are saying something, people will only hear. If we are showing them something, they will only see. But our main focus is people will learn by doing. In our FY, during our extension education, we have discussed Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So there we have discussed that learning by doing is the first-hand experience, and during our program planning or during implementation of different program, we will give focus for the skill enhancement, skill development of the human resources. It reaches people to practice themselves. That means with the help of proper practice, they will sharpen their skills. Teaching is inadequate till the knowledge is put in practice. That means we will see the applicability of knowledge. We will give them such kind of experiences so that they will apply whatever they have learned. So every time our objective, our focus will be that people should apply their knowledge. We will give such kind of conducive experiences that they will practice. That means our focus will be on skill enhancement, skill development. We will help them to some kind of employment, self-employment opportunities so that they will have practice and it will be helpful. Next is extension has philosophy of leadership. First, our focus will be on ourselves. That means we should become the good leaders. And with the help of all these activities, definitely you will see that program planning subject is such a useful subject. It will be helpful for you to be the good leader. And during our uh, program planning, our implementation, we will see that we are here to develop good leaders in the society. So it teaches, educates, stimulates people through local leaders. Yes, we should have proper faith in our beneficiary group. As we have mentioned that in Indian people, they are really very sincere, they are really very hardworking, they have a huge potential. you will see that we will become superpowers, and we should have that faith in our beneficiary groups. We should have that faith, yes, they will become good leaders. They are good leaders. We have to mobilize these human resources for our program during our program implementation. It will be helpful to utilize the human resource. It will utilize assistance of voluntary leaders, and with the help of proper motivation to and again with the help of proper understanding of their strength, understanding of their weaknesses. That means SWOT analysis, understanding the opportunities. Again, strength are associated with the opportunities. So we have to focus on their strength, and we have to make them aware about their strength. We have to provide such kind of opportunities so that they will use their strength. We will motivate them and we will encourage them. We will give them that kind of positive attitude in themselves. Yes, you are enough capable to understand your problems, and you are enough capable to solve your problems themselves. So in our extension philosophy, we are here to mobilize that kind of positive leadership. It locates and use the functions of functional leaders. That means for our program implementation, all these leadership is important. Next is extension as philosophy of local responsibilities. Yes, we have proper faith that people are responsible. It encourages people to contribute in their own affairs increasingly. So I just want to give homework that write down the points when people will think, yes, I am responsible and I am able to contribute in such kind of programs. You can comment in the comment box when people will think that yes, they are responsible for the activity. So with the help of proper program planning, we can make them aware about, yes, you are responsible. We should give them that kind of faith that yes, you are responsible. And with the help of proper positive people participation, people will think, yes, I am responsible. If we will when we are understanding their needs, when we are understanding their problem situation, during that situation, during that process, if we will participate them in the data collection, during that survey, during that analyzing their needs, people will share their problems, people will share their needs. So they will have that feeling, yes, when this program planner, this extension worker came to us, we have shared our views, we have shared our news. This program is based on our needs. This is the need-based program for our. Then they will think that yes, they are responsible. They will participate positively in the implementation of the program. So it is the duty of extension worker, of that program planner, that they should include these beneficiary group at each and every stage during the data collection, again analyzing their needs, analyzing their situation, while formulating the objective, while implementing the program, while evaluating the program. At each and every level, we should, as a program planner, we should understand them and we should take their contribution. Then they will think that yes, they are responsible. So today is our first session. We have discussed the syllabus And we have also discussed why this program planning subject is important for ourselves. You can comment in the box your views about the today's session. Also, it will boost my morale also. Then next session, we will discuss principles of program planning, and session by session, we will complete our syllabus, what we have discussed. Again, every time I will give you some kind of assignments. Today I have given you have to write down different needs of different beneficiary groups. That means you have to write down the problems of people. You have to write down some possible answers of those questions, or whatever you are thinking, how you are able to participate in our nation building. Now you must have come to know that people will take the. Thank you.